What's up, everybody? We are back on the Burnout podcast. We took a little quick break. Me and my good friend Eileen were talking about cancel culture. And before I actually get into cancel culture and how problematic these important conversations online are becoming a get, I actually want to provide you guys with two definitions. And the first definition will be of what to cancel someone is, or what canceling culture is. And the second will be what being woke is. So for our first definition, we have cancel culture, or call out culture. It's a modern form of ostracism in which someone is thrust out of social or professional circles, either online, social media, in real life, or both. Woke is being aware of the truth or things the man doesn't want you to know. Keep in mind, this second definition is from Urban Dictionary. Knowing things the man doesn't want you to know. Meanwhile, a concurrent definition with signal shifts of the meaning is to act very pretentious about how much you know or care about a social issue. So when I heard that definition of being woke and how it's starting to turn into something that's used to be about having knowledge and being aware of things that are going on, is turning into something. It's just like, oh, well, I know more than you, so shut the fuck up. I'm like, yo, this is actually a problem. Because how are we having these important conversations online about sexual assault, abuse, domestic abuse, racism, poverty, climate change, all these amazing things, but niggas is not really talking about it. We're just arguing. We're just canceling people. We're just like, oh, well, I'm woke and you're asleep, so fuck out of here. So my whole thing, I just wanted to spend time during this episode talking about how we change these things. What do we do to shift? Because right now on social media, it's literally like, say this room right here was filled with 10 women, and we all say we're all like domestic abuse survivors or rape survivors, and we're all sitting here talking about our experiences, and a fucking rapist walks in and is like, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't have had this on, or oh, maybe you provoked him, or oh, maybe you was out too late. Nobody's that fucking bold in real life. Like, nobody's that fucking bold.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to say out loud, like, yeah, nobody would do that, but that's what people are doing online. And it might not be as literal as a rapist and people who've been raped, but it is like, if I post something on social media that people don't necessarily agree with, it's not met with overwhelming, thought-provoking, respectful disagreement. It's met with a standoffish, you don't know what you're talking about, or you're dragging it, or you're reaching, or let me finish you in the comments attitude. And that's toxic.
Of course. Social media is toxic, period.
But how do we change that? Because it's getting to a point where,
changing.
Like,
you gotta understand.
Your kids are going to be on social media. So we have to be responsible and try to change.
It's not going to change. You got to understand, drama is what sells. That's what get everybody hype up. That's the only thing that people is interested in. That's literally what draws people in. So for them to even be looking, it has to be some type of drama going in your life. That's how most of the celebrities pop, by being in some type of drama. So it's just always going to be the game. Just like how we said about YouTube videos. Maybe we was just talking about the other day how they be doing fake pranks and fake fights and stuff like that to get attention, because that's what people like to see. People like to be nosy. People like to see drama. It's interesting to people. That's just the human nature, I guess.
Right. But I feel like, yeah, that's true. But think about it. If we all know that we love drama, or drama is a driving force.
Drama sells.
Yeah, drama sells. Then we got to stop buying drama.
But it's not going to happen, because then we won't have...
It could happen.
It cannot.
Bro, things have happened that people, like, bro, niggas thought that there'd never be a time where social media had the power to cancel people, and we see that happens now. Like, dudes like Harvey Weinstein would not be in jail or not being brought to light if it wasn't for the Me Too movement, which was started by a black woman on social media. Like, people wouldn't have the balls to do a lot of the stuff
Right.
that they do now if it wasn't for social media. So we could change things.
No, you cannot. Let me tell you why. All right, so you know how there's the artists that is out right now. There's people who was underground that is 10 times better than them lyrically, with the melodies, everything, right? But you want to know what's the difference between them and the celebrities that's already on? They had got into some type of drama to put them on. It sells. That's the only way that you're gonna get in this industry. And it's sad to say, you're not getting in this industry by just your talents, because everybody has talents. Like, literally, you're not getting in like that. You have to put your foot in the door. You have to get in some type of beef, some type of drama. You got to be messy. You got to fuck somebody's man. It got to be something like that.
It's like, okay, so when does the responsibility fall on the consumer to be like, this is not what we want to see anymore?
But this is what people want to see. We go in the shade room every day, don't we? Go in the shade room every day, and we look at T every day, though.
Exactly.
We want to see that, but you're saying that you don't want to see it, but that's what we all naturally do.
The thing about social cues and societal norms is never about necessarily what the specific person is doing. It's about what we allow. Because the thing is, bro, whoever the first news person was to figure out people personal business was what's gonna sell, they had the best fucking idea and ran with it. But now it's up to us to be like, okay, yeah, drama is cool, but we also have to create environments online where there's a difference. Like, the shade room should not be, okay, this is probably a better question. The shade room, or a statement, the shade room should not be responsible for tea and news. They should not be able to post about news stories that's going on in real life in real time, even though they have a big audience. And I also talk about celebrity drama. It misconstrues and it confuses the viewer, because the people in the shade room, following the shade room, most of them are there for drama. They're not there for thought-provoking conversation. They're not there to change their mind. They're there to be messy, have their comments go viral. What you're there for?
Because you're there every day. So what
I'm there because I have a podcast and I have to come bring you guys the real news. That's why we're talking about it today. So most people that are going on there, they're not going on there with good intentions. Me, I actually am going on there with good intentions. Yes, I'm putting myself on a high horse, even though I'm talking about people being pretentious.
You watch Love and Hip Hop?
I used to, but I don't anymore because I started noticing.
So you can't watch it
not even that. I stopped watching Love and Hip Hop like 3 years ago, and the reason why I actually stopped is because I started noticing that I started becoming a person who was acting like that, not, going crazy, throwing drinks and stuff like that. But soon as a little situation would happen, I'd be ready to pop off, and that's because I was filling my mind with all of that negativity and that drama. So what I'm saying is, for someone like me, I'm always trying to think forward. What's next? And for me, that has to be what comes next. We have to start shifting the way social media culture goes, because it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse.
Of course.
And who's it going to get worse for? Not me and you, because by the time we 40, 30 years old, we're not going to be worried about what's going on social media.
I have a question. So since you want to cancel out the drama,
I don't want to cancel drama.
So what you saying?
I think that there's a more effective way to maneuver online than how we have been. I feel like online, if there's a check to be gotten somewhere, everyone is getting it. Remember, being woke, being into conspiracy theories, that used to not be cool. Like, if you talked about that shit, people was like, you crazy.
Yeah, facts.
Now that it's a check to be gotten, bro, big time blogs like E-News fucking are talking about shit like Pizzagate or Black Lives Matter,
Pizzagate
which is not
been out before even was a hashtag. Because I've been researched on Pizzagate before it was a hashtag.
And you know that because you were in the earlier days of conspiracies when that shit wasn't cool. Now it's bitches doing makeup talking about aliens. That was never fucking cool. Like, so I feel like online, the lines, and I'm not saying that it's wrong for people to necessarily talk about stuff that isn't in a lane. I just feel like when it comes to these blogs and media sources and online monopolies, we have a responsibility to make sure that certain things are separate. The shade room, I like, as crazy as like it might sound, the shade room is not where we need to be having conversations about Black Lives Matter or police brutality in general. That's not the forum to have that conversation. Now, where is the forum to have that conversation? The Burnout Podcast. But, like, because seriously, like, that's what we're talking about over here. And people who watch this know that I'm talking about real shit. Like, of course, we have fun. We talk about drama, but we also know that after the drama is done, we're going to get into some things, honey. And I feel like, and that's just one place. Like, there's so many places online we could move these good conversations to, but we're not. We're having a conversation on the shade room. We're having a conversation in the neighborhood talk. We're having this shit. Like, we're talking about this places where who the fuck on the shade room is an activist? Who's a social justice warrior in a shade room? Like, how are a bunch of people spilling tea?
I feel like the shade room is a network to connect everybody in tune. It's a network on Instagram to connect everybody to be in tune. I feel like it's actually the perfect thing for us right now because people's into the social media life. We've been knew that. Like, knew that the social media life draws people in. So if I'm going to draw you in, like, I might as well have a page that you could see news and you could see the drama that draws you in anyway, right? So I feel like the shade room was the perfect thing for us, actually.
I don't know, because my whole thing is just like, okay, but the people following the shade room, they're not there for the news updates. Like, yeah, they're like, okay, cool, they're posting the news. That's a plus, but they're not there for news updates. So we have people who are not well versed in politics, not well versed in race. They're not.
But it's posted on the shade room. But there's a lot of things that I don't watch the news like that. The only time the news is on is when I'm listening in my grandmother's room. That's literally the only time I'm listening to the news. And I be like, oh really? Like, I be in my room and I be like, oh really? That really just happened? But when I go on social media and I go in the shade room, I be like, oh shit, that just happened. That's crazy. Like.
So that's what I'm saying. That's where the responsibility falls back on us, the consumer. If we want to have progressive conversations, newsflash, they're not going to happen in the shade room. No matter how much I try to change, no matter how much I try to be serious about serious topics, people who want drama, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to hear drama because, like you said earlier, everyone wants to hear the tea. Everyone wants to know drama. The issue is, where are we deciphering these things? Because there used to be a point in time in society where there were multiple forums for people to talk about different things. Now online, everything is conjumbled and people are misconstruing stuff. Like I said, we have people who are not well versed in politics talking about politics. And that's not to say, oh, if you're stupid, you shouldn't have an opinion. Because I feel like a lot of times that's what people think. No, if we're going to educate the masses, it's not going to be through a place like the Shade Room. Because yeah, they have a big following.
So where's it gonna be? Because most of the people that are not aware, like I said, I don't watch the news, but the news is always on, so I'm always hearing about it, regardless of the fact I'm always hearing it. But there's people that don't even get to watch the news at all. So where are they gonna look at it at? They wake up every day and they go on social media. Every day they go on social media. So Shade Room is the perfect place.
Yeah, it's the perfect place for convenience, but the conversation is not about convenience. It's about progressing, and we're not gonna progress if we're just being convenient. If it's what's convenient for us, like, we have to move forward. So there changes. I'm telling you right now, bro. Change is not gonna come from a place like the Shade Room. Like, it's not. People are in there having conversations, but what, bro? Like, look at the Shade Room comments when niggas talk about Black Lives Matter. When they do post stuff like that, yeah, it's a good thing that they're bringing awareness. Because this is not to knock the Shade Room itself. Like, this is not to knock anyone trying to bring awareness to anything. What it's saying is, us as people have to be like, this can't be where the conversation is happening. When you look in the comments about Black Lives Matter on social media, in the shade room specifically, it's not good comments like, oh, we need to do this and come together. Or it's not people in the comments saying active steps you can take. There are people either saying a bunch of ignorant bullshit or people trying to educate those people, but they don't want to listen because they're not there for that.
So where the conversation should be.
And that's what I'm saying. Places like here. Places like, I'm trying to think because there's not really a lot online. Which is what I'm saying. Like, we have to change the fabric. We have to make sure that we are investing into... Not investing. We have to make sure that we're going to alternative places for news. Like, we can't get all of our news from social media and Twitter.
But that's just reality.
But like, that's the thing. We shape reality. There was a point in time where people who were social media famous, that was whack. That was lame. Oh, you're famous on social media. To us, it was cool because we grew up like that. But there's a point in time where people our age looked at people when we were younger who were online popping as lames, because it's just like, okay, but that's not real money. Then when people started getting paid to be influencers, then the fabric of society started to shift. Now these IG girls are making more money than fucking actors in Hollywood. Like before,
doctors,
yeah,
literally doctors. And so I feel like since we already talking about this, I feel like about the celebrities, the Instagram models making more than doctors and stuff, I feel like it's shaping our generation into leaning more towards that way, leaning towards like, oh, you don't need to go to college. College is nothing for you. Oh, you can just take a couple of pictures on social media and then be a brand ambassador and get paid way much. I feel like they created a way to shape our young ones to not follow in the footsteps we was when our generation was brought up to be. Our generation was brought up when we was younger, like, oh, what you want to be in life? You want to be a firefighter? You want to be a doctor? You want to be this? You want to be that? Nowadays, you got young girls saying that they want to be Instagram models. They want to be on a social media platform. They want to be YouTubers. Like, you don't hear, they don't have any ambition no more. The Instagram is making it to where we don't have ambition for anything at all. Literally. It's sad. Like,
yeah, which is why I feel like conversations like this are important to have, because it's not gonna change unless we change, because we're not the only two people that feel this way. We're not the only people having this conversation right now. But what it is we actively have to change as the consumer. These social media sites are not going to change because it works for them. Like, they're making millions and millions of free dollars. Like, that's what people don't realize. They are making free money,
billions,
from you being on their site. They're billions. Like, bro, Mark Zuckerberg is a billionaire. Fucking Jack Dorsey is a billionaire. Like, all of these Silicon Valley niggas who used to get bullied in college is making bank off of an app. And we have to decide what our values are, which is why I'm just like, yeah, this is society now, but how are we going to change it? Like, do we want to change it?
It's so many people that is not teaching out. All right, so look, the people in the public eye is what most of our younger generation is looking towards. They're not looking towards nobody else but people on social media. It's people younger than us, our age, that we wasn't even allowed to have social media when we was younger. We had to sneak to have a Facebook. I remember having to sneak to have a Facebook. I remember that.
I used to always have to deactivate my account, create a new one.
So, like I was saying, like, our generation right now, the generation right now is not, the celebrities is not teaching us the right way, teaching them the right way. They're not showing them, like, I do this, but you guys can do this. Like, something just happened and I just popped off by me doing this. This is not something that I would want my kids to be doing. I want my kids to have a legitimate career. They don't teach these younger generations that at all.
For these Instagram models, they have to say, oh, this is what you want to be.
They don't have to say that at all.
This is why they do. Because by saying that, oh, like, Like, they make it look so easy because they want young girls to think it's easy, because they're gonna kill themselves literally to buy every single product they recommend to them and be on every single social media site that they're on, because that's what they want to look like. Like you said, that's what they want to be.
This social media thing is shifting our generation into the literally the wrong way, because for instance, my little cousin, he's like about 14, right? And I asked him what he wanted to be, like what he wanted to do. When I was 14, I remember I always said I wanted to be a lawyer. That's just something I always said. Like, at least I had a dream. Like, I was like, this is what I want to be. This little nigga gonna say that he wants to be a YouTuber. He said he just wants to sit in the house and not do nothing and just be lit on social media. And I'm just looking at him like, you just think it's just that easy. Like, you just going to be lit on social media and that's it. But this is what I'm saying. All his friends think like that. So that's making me think like, damn, that means everybody's thinking like that? Like, that means all the generations thinking like that?
I have yet to meet a kid that don't want to be a singer or a dancer or a rapper. And not for nothing, like, when we was young, we had kids in our class that wanted to be that, but not everyone wanted to be that.
No, it's not even that. We wanted to be dancers. You remember we was dancing in dance class. We wanted to be dancers, but we had an alternative. We always said that we like dancing, but we always was like, I want to be this. We always had our goal that we want to be. Like, always. That was just that. We love dancing.
But like, there was definitely a point in time in society where people did not aspire to be entertainers. Either you were talented or not. And if you weren't, like, now, literally, like I said, we have, all right, Danny started off as a choreographer. Now she's a whole singer, dancer, rapper. Like, it's mad easy for people to just become whatever the fuck they want because the music industry is oversaturated. All you have to be is a certain look and you blow up like that. So these kids see that.
Or you got to do the right thing. Got to do the right thing. Literally the wrong thing, but it's the right thing in their eyes. Yeah. Literally.
So, and that's why I feel like it's important that we actually start to be like, no, things have to change. And not just as us as the consumer, but social media too. There has to be some type of median. There has to be some mediator. Like, these people Mark Zuckerberg literally created Facebook and he does not know how to control it. Like, he literally does not know how to control the algorithm.
Even with the Instagram thing, remember last year they stopped letting all accounts see the likes or whatever, because they noticed that it was a problem that people was like, younger kids was doing anything for likes, and after they stopped it, they put it back.
And I'm just started fucking with people money. People who actually get paid based off of how many likes or followers they have. They like, bitch. And then that's going to make them go off of Instagram and go to another website that is going to show how much likes they have. And they're just going to bring their fan base over there, which is why we have to be responsible. We have to be like, okay, what, like, for example, one thing that they talked about in the social dilemma was there should be laws regarding social media. Like, the telephone company, believe it or not, every conversation you have in your phone, they could keep. But they don't, because that's not of use to them. It's a violation of your privacy. That's like, what the fuck? But social media does keep every single analytical piece of data and a bandwidth file called Eileen or Rebecca.
Everything that you post on social media, no matter if you deleted, you was up for 1 minute.
Everything that you like, commented on, and guess what? They recycle all of that data and they put it into the algorithm. That's what the algorithm is. Because people talk about an algorithm and they don't know what the fuck algorithm means. The algorithm is literally everything that you like, comment, share, see. Even shit that you think that you liked and didn't like. They are analoging that and they're putting it into
That's how certain ads pop up on your phone. That's why
certain pages get recommended, certain people, certain, like, not for nothing, while we talking about algorithm, YouTube gets to recommending. Because it's like, Yeah, like every single thing that we have liked is logged into a data file of us, and they keep recommending more of that shit to get us on our phones for longer, which make us aspire to have things other people have, because we're looking at this through a lens. Like, our phone is literally a portal. And I remember this quote. It was like, any piece of technology that is unmanaged and has no frequency is no different from magic. Mm-hmm. And that's literally what social media is. Like, our phones is literally a portal into any single world we want to go into. You want to go into the world of fucking mermaids and fairies, you could fucking go there. If you want to believe that a unicorn is God, you could believe that. And not because that's a good thing. You could believe it because social media has made it to where facts don't matter. You can pull up a fact right now online that says God is a unicorn. Like, matter of fact, I'm about to show y'all right now. I'm about to show y'all right fucking now. Like, this shit is crazy. Like, I'm about to show y'all right now. I'm about to ask my computer and I might recommend some crazy shit because, again, algorithm matters. Is unicorns? Is unicorn God?
Nah, it's unicorn God for me.
And look, here goes, if I'm a fucking coot who wants to believe it, here goes my validation right here. The first thing, before they even get into the actual definition, the thing that is emboldened in quotes, because there's a whole definition, but the emboldened quote, because we're human. So we all skim read. Like, I don't know why everyone online is acting like they're miscontextuality and they're looking for all of these context clues. Like, we all, myself included, we all skim read. The shit literally says the Bible also has a description of an animal in that realm, which some versions translate as a unicorn. The next one, does the Bible mention unicorn? Is unicorn a Greek god? Are unicorns real in 2020? What does it mean when you see a unicorn? And the fact, these are things that people also ask after the question, is unicorns God? So if I wanted to believe that, I could believe it. And that's what social media has done. So if you're a white supremacist and you want to believe that you are superior to every race that's not white, you can literally look that up and it'll be there. I'm pretty sure if I looked it up, I'd see some fucking disturbing shit. Which is why as a society, it's not just society. It's not just the way shit is. We have a responsibility to actually change these things. We have a responsibility, like with cancel culture. We can't even
get each other together correctly to go protest.
It's happened before. We're just not doing them in the right places,
bro. I would. All right.
Like, you think
in order for it to work, it needs to have our generation. I didn't see many of our generation out there marching. I seen our generation looting. I did not see our generation doing anything else. I didn't see our generation thinking about anything else either, but looting.
This has nothing to do with the Black Lives Matter protests. Like, this has nothing to do with social injustice.
I know it has nothing to do. That's an example.
But this has because the thing is, okay, we could say that those people went out there looting, and I don't necessarily disagree with looting, because niggas looted after Martin Luther King died, and then they passed the notion for black people to, like, then shit happened after they looted. I feel like history leaves that out a lot. But this conversation is not even about that. It's the simple fact that, bro, regardless of what they did, the Black Lives Matter movement started something. People was not talking about police brutality for years, and black people knew that it was happening, but other people didn't know because
it was
nobody.
I seen it. It was the talk,
bro.
It just wasn't as it wasn't. And many people speaking about it.
Exactly, and that happened because of the Black Lives Matter movement, which existed before social media, but it gained legs because of social media. So it can happen. We can mobilize. What happens after the mobility, that's where the gatekeeping shit comes in at. Like, how do we properly gatekeep not just the black community, but communities in general? That's where that comes in. So whoever started the Black Lives Matter movement, they have to have that conversation with the people that they have to have it with.
I feel like we can't gatekeep our community because we can't even be a whole. But we don't know how to be a whole. You don't have to be a whole to be a. Cause I
what
feel
you
like
mean?
Wait, hold on. What you mean though? Jewish people stick together no matter what. No, Amish people stick together no matter what.
What it is we think Jewish people stick together because they don't let us know when they're beefing, and that's what I'm saying. That's the difference. When you like, cause not for nothing. When I worked in the area that
No, hold on. Before you even continue, before I forget, you said that we think that they don't we don't know when they beefing because they don't let us in. But I bet you this: if two Jewish people don't like each other, two families, Jewish, because families is big, they don't like each other, and I walk in the picture, they gonna both come together and be like, nah, we don't like her. Then they gonna resolve their problem. But we can't do that though.
But that's the difference. But that's what I'm saying. We could do that. We choose not to.
We don't do that. You're right. We don't do that. But it's hard for us to do that. You know why?
Why? Because the shit that I was talking about earlier, with like, because we let everyone be black. We let everyone come into our spaces. Bro, that's even like the other day.
Not only we let other people come into our spaces, we want to be something else but black.
That too.
You gotta understand, most black people can't accept that. When I was little, I used to be like, Mom, I'm not black. Like I want to be like, cause that's just what, when I was younger, that's just what I was brought up. Like, I was brought up around Spanish people and shit like that. So I didn't want to be black. I wanted to be Spanish with them. I wanted to be white with them. Why can't I be white with them? But now, as me growing up, I understand that it's an issue. Like, I'm black and I love being black. But you gotta understand, some people are still in that mindset.
Yeah.
That they don't want to be. They want to be mixed because that's something that the niggas, something that the males publicly like. They just always want, like,
which is
mixed females.
Why we have to make it, like, it's not enough to say it. Like, feel me? We don't have enough time for the next topic, but I did actually have it for the next topic. It's not enough, for example, with the whole protect black women stuff. Everyone online posted protect black women, but do we protect black women? No. A nigga called me a bitch the other day. That goes with protecting black women. We have to be serious about what we're saying online. Not only do we have to be serious, but we have to make it our duty to reflect that into our real every single day lives. And
our actions have to show. We have to actually live to what we say, not just say because we feel like it's cool or say because we feel like it's wrong in the meantime. But then when a girl don't want to talk to you, you just want to be like, bitch, suck my dick, da 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 da. No, we need to practice what we preach.
Period.
All the time.
Period. And I feel like for me, like someone like me who really does try to practice what they preach, and I feel like this is what y'all realize, people who really do practice what they preach are not likable. People don't fucking like me. And it's not because I'm a bitch or because I'm just this nasty person. It's because I don't allow certain people to say certain things around me. Or if you say something around me, I'm going to try to educate you.
Or you're going to speak up. And people don't like that. Mm-hmm. They feel like it's intimidating. For you to have knowledge and they don't have the knowledge that you have is intimidating. It's very intimidating.
And society has made it to where, like the example I gave earlier, if I'm telling you a fact, you don't have to accept that fact because there's going to be an alternative fact on Google telling you what you want to hear. It's going to tell you, oh, what I'm saying don't even fucking matter because this is right. Like
on social media.
Yeah, or social media is validating that, which is why the conversations on social media have to stop. And not that they have to stop fully, but we have to be having them in a better way. Because in the comment section, niggas are not commenting to educate. They're commenting to respond. They're commenting to argue.
Facts. But not only it has to stop on social media. I don't feel like it has to stop on social media. I feel like we need to be having these conversations in real life. I feel like it can go on social media, but if you're not practicing you're not standing by what you said on social media, it's not validating nothing. And now I see like the issue that you're saying about people and the news on social media, because in real life, if they're not practicing what they preaching, they not actually standing by what they saying.
Even that,
which is right.
We had to talk about it. Like, we had to sit there and talk, bounce off each other. How are we going to do that or in a comment section? How would we have been able to have this conversation in the comment section? Because I would have been enthralled in my own emotions and my experiences. You would have been wrapped up in your own emotions and your experiences. And there's no facet to actually talk
no
about
solution.
the real issue.
No solution at all. No solution. So I understand what you mean. Being on social media with the news and stuff like that is no solution to anything, because you're not actually having a real conversation. You're not actually practicing what you're saying in real life. Nothing that you actually saying on social media is actually something that you're going to do in real life. That's just something that you want to say for the moment, something you believe in for probably the moment. And then
talk about it. That moment is key.
When you
it's
actually
the moment
get
for me.
When you actually get in that situation, it's totally different. You act like a fool. That's just how it is. But it should definitely change. Like, we should definitely.
So now that, because I want to ask you a question. So now that you kind of understand where I'm coming from, what do you think? Hold on, I have a question. I have the question right here. So how does the conversation move forward, and what is the actual goal? Is it to change people's perception, or is it to accept that we're all entitled to our own opinions and that we have to change the fabric of online culture?
I feel like to change our not really change. Everybody have their own opinion, right? It's just what they do with their opinion. I feel like you're entitled to your own opinion, but you should know right from wrong,
right?
Regardless of the fact.
And you should also know fact from fiction. Like, you cannot have an opinion about a fact
at all, because it's just a fact. You gotta accept. So when things are just factional things, you just have to accept it. I feel like on social media, some people just can't. It just don't sit well in their stomach. And if it's a fact, it just don't sit right with them. Like, they'll do anything just to prove their point is right. And I feel like that needs to change. But we are entitled to our opinions, but we're not going to be oblivious to what's actually really going on. Right. So I feel like that's the problem. Yeah, that's it.
Overall, I feel like to kind of wrap up this conversation, I feel like overall we have to actively, one, keep having these conversations in person in places where we could work through them, and two, I think that we actually as a society need to start petitioning the Mark Zuckerbergs and Jack Dorseys of the world, even Google. Like, literally Google is beefing with Australia. Like that's how big Google is right now, that they have beef with a continent. Look it up, y'all. I'm not lying. But so I think even for the Googles, we have to petition them to really fact check. And I know that was a primary thing in the last presidency we got out of with Trump, because he is spreading a lot of fake news. It's not enough to just put fake news over everything about COVID-19. Like, that's not enough to put warnings up on everything. You guys have to actually filter out what is fake, what is fact, what is opinion, and put that there. Like literally.
But you can't get your answers, all your answers, from social media.
That too.
You cannot. It's not. Social media tells you what you want.
We gotta start coming back outside.
Social media tells you what you want to hear. They don't tell you what you need to hear. That's the difference.
Yep. Niggas gotta start coming back outside. Literally, we always like we outside, but are we really outside?
We ain't outside. Like, we ain't outside. I feel like I got a curfew when I was younger. Like, I feel like, nah, this is really crazy, because I really feel like I'm back a kid again, and I gotta be in a house at a certain time, and I can't go out and live my life. This is not right. I can't travel without staying home for 2 weeks. I can't. This is too much.
Life. And I feel like now more than ever,
it's becoming the new normal, and I'm not liking it.
And I don't like it either.
I gotta sit outside and eat.
More than ever is why we have to have these conversations, because if niggas is trying to quarantine us and have us, because what do niggas do during quarantine? Go on YouTube, go on Google, look up crazy shit. Like, bro,
shop.
All sorts.
They said what Amazon Prime went up the highest rate last year because of COVID-19.
He literally made $1 a second during COVID-19. $1 a second. But speaking of time, we're running out of it. And this is an amazing show. We got into a lot of things.
Next, we're going to talk about conspiracies because that's where you're going to see your girl.
This is the true conspiracy queen. Y'all think I be bugging? We got to, feel me? We're going to get into some things. But this was another installment of the Burnout Podcast up here at S.STREET Media. I am your host, Rebecca Shelby.
And I'm Eileen.
And we out.